Good afternoon, everybody. This is Anita with Artistically Yours, Stampin' Up. I hope you're having a good day. As you can see, I'm in desperate need for some beauty parlor help. I'm ready to do it myself. But anyway, this is what you get. This is what I get. And so I'm just going to hold on because maybe by the end of this I can pick out a new style that I haven't had before because my hair might be long enough for it. So that's the news. Other than that, we did have some news this morning about the new die cutting and embossing machine. And I'll be telling you more about that later. The new catalog comes out in June, but it may not be ready. I mean, the machines won't be ready until June. Yes, you heard it right. I said machines, plural. So I will be giving you more information on that later, but for now, that's kind of exciting. I still have my regular Big Shot, which you see me use quite often, and I will probably keep using that because it works fine, and I just can't see spending more money on something that's just like what I already have. But if you don't have one yet and you've been waiting, just hold on a little while longer and we'll have more information on that for you, along with the price and what is all included in that. So hang on for that. It's coming up soon. So again, the hostess code for the month, still the same idea that if you book a party and time's running out, so we can still do it next week with very little advance warning, but you need to let me know, and then we can still do that in the next week. So the host code, backwards, I'm just going to read it to you, and it's posted below in some of the other posts. EYQB2WJR. So if you host a Facebook party, you will get hostess rewards, and if someone else places an order outside of your party, I will be sure that that order gets added to your hostess rewards. So don't forget about doing that. Also, we've got about a little over a month left for, actually it's I think 2 months. I think this is good till the end. Oh no, only the beginning of June. So about a month left for this mini catalog. It's got so many cute things in it: designer series paper, dies, embossing folders, and of course stamps. So one of the things that is in there that I've used before with you, but I wanted to do something a little different today, was the garden gateway. So it's actually the stamp set. It's called Grace's Garden. That's what you see here. It also comes with these dies as a bundle. So the stamp set itself is $18, which is really nice because it's pretty versatile. And then the dies have, as you see, the little the gate arbor and some flower and leaf cutouts, as well as a bird and a kitten. So one of the cards I made just with some of the dies the other day, I'm going to show you. It's for a wedding that is taking place on the weekend via Zoom. Kind of sad, but kind of exciting. Who else can say they got married via Zoom? So, I mean, the bride and groom will be together, of course. So this is the card that I made. Now this silhouette man and woman, that's an old stamp that I had already. But you can see this little garden arbor with the gate, and then the leaves cut out, and then these flowers cut out with that same die set that's called Garden Gateway. Only good till the beginning of June, so if you are interested in that, as well as the Grace's Garden stamp set, only good till the beginning of June. So you might want to reach out and grab them now. The stamp set alone is $18. The Garden Gateway dies are $35, but if you get them together, you save 10%. So for $47.50, you would get the dies and the stamp set together. So that's all for that, but please, please, please don't let this catalog go by. And then you'll say, well, why didn't I order this or that? So go to the website, stampinup.com, look for the mini catalog, and you can browse through there, see what there is in there that you would like. So for today, I was thinking we would use this Grace's Garden for a very nice, simple card. And then I will show you how I stepped that simple card up a little bit to make it, neither one was complicated, don't think that, but just kind of made it a little less simple. Okay, so let me turn you around and I'll move you down here. Weather today, cold and nasty. So it was pouring rain this morning and windy, cold. This afternoon we got a little bit of snow falling, so that is still nasty. And even though I intended to go out and take a walk today, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not that motivated to be out there when it's so miserable. So let's see here. We're starting with a piece of Daffodil Delight. Except for this is crushed curry. All right, hold on just a second. I'm going to have to cut one. I just was looking at that and thinking that's not the right color. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting this piece that is 11 by 8.5 or 8.5 by 11. I'm just going to come over and cut it in half. So I'm going to cut it at 5.5. And I'm just going to quickly, sorry, I just got looking at that color and I thought, no, that's not right at all. All right, and I also put the little crease in with my cutter. So that's all ready. I'm just going to fold it over. And again, if you do have one of those little creasers, I can't think of the right word for it, on your Stampin' Trimmer that just puts that little mark in there, you want to be sure to fold it with the mark or with the raised part on the inside, all right? So there, that's all ready. I'm going to set that aside, and then I have a piece of rich raspberry that's 5.25 by 4. So I'm going to just set that aside. And yes, today I'm going to use the Stamparatus because maybe you have one and you don't use it often enough. Maybe you don't have one and you're thinking, should I? So we're going to use that today. So all I've done so far, I've got a piece of Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. And again, I'm going by my chart that I've got here. This also, by the way, is using that good grief, the same stamp set, Grace's Garden. So as you see, we've got the little garden gate there. This was the one without the arbor on it. So on those dies, it also will just cut out this gate. Then we've got the green leaves. I stamped these flowers. But anyway, the point of that was just to show you the layering. So the card itself is 5.5 by 4.25. Then I cut the rich raspberry 5.25 by 4. And then I have the piece of Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. So those are the 3 measurements. And that's how I come up with those measurements. I did not come up with them. I just saved them and I'm sharing them with you. All right, so the Stamparatus helps you to position your stamps properly. So I'm just going to put this in the corner. It comes with 2 magnets. Do not, under any circumstances, put those 2 magnets together. They can break, they're that strong. So I only use one most of the time. so that I am not at risk of breaking them. So I'm just going to stick it there so the paper stays where I want it to stay. And I'm going to use this. These are hollyhocks. So what I'm going to do is position that right in the middle of my paper as close as I can. All right, and then I'm just going to take one of the sheets and see how that's stuck on there. That's all you need to do. And that way you know when you put it back down here, it's going to be exactly where you want it to be. Now I'm using the Memento black ink. So I'm just going to stamp that up. And I'm going to press down so it's right where I want it to be. Okay? So then the Stamparatus always comes with 2 of these plastic boards. I'm so tired today and I can't think straight, so I apologize for my bad vocabulary. For this I'm going to use this other little stamp, and I'm going to, for right now, stick it right next to the first one. Make sure it's fairly even along the bottom edge. And the reason I use the Stamparatus is because I did want them next to each other, but I wanted them to be even. So there you go. There's the other one. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Whoops, let me clean this off. The nice thing about the Stampin' Scrub, I'll show you in a minute, or the chamois, Stampin' Chamois. Okay, that also looks pretty good. So we're going to put that back on. It's just the right place. And I'm going to use my Memento ink again and just make sure that's covered good. Press down, and there you have it. All right, so the nice thing about the chamois, if you have a chamois, which I love mine, when you are done using your stamp, you can leave it right on there and then just use the chamois to clean it off. So I'm going to do the same with this other one up here. All right, and I'm going to put those away in a minute. Other thing you need to remember when you're using the Stamparatus, don't leave these on top of each other, because you see it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It's not meant to. So be sure to take off the top one, and then it will store. But if you keep it in the hinges, you're liable to break it, so you don't want to do that. Okay, and that other stamp I'm going to put away in a moment. All right, so now we have this beautiful little flower garden. So what I'm going to do is use my markers today, the Stampin' Right markers. I've got, first of all, Old Olive, and these markers are nice. They come sort of with a large end and then more of a fine point end. But today I'm going to use the wider point. So I'm just going to go through and mark up some of these. The grasses, doesn't have to be exact. And I'm going to go up these stems a little bit and then just kind of pick out what looks like it's the leaves. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to attach that a little bit so that it looks like it's one garden and not 3 separate little stamp markings. And the same here, I'm just going to color in a little. And like I said, doesn't have to be too exact. So you guys doing okay? Everybody staying healthy? I'm kind of feeling the isolation a little the last couple of days. My husband's been working at his flip house, and so he is not home most of the day, which is kind of, sometimes it's good, but if it's every day and I'm home alone, it can be a little bit discouraging. But we'll make it work. I think he's going to be home the next couple of days, so that's good. Okay, so these, oh, this is the rich razzleberry. Did I say that already? Hi, Jessie. How are things at your house? We're doing good. My father, I saw him yesterday. I've only seen him maybe 3 times in the last 6 weeks. But it was nice to be able to see him and see that he's doing okay. I do talk to him every night. All right, so now I've got the Daffodil Delight. I know, I've got 2 lights on in here. If I open this, I think it gets worse. That's why I've got it covered. The lighting in this room is not great for video, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'm using the Daffodil Delight for these little daffodil flowers. I forgot a little bit of the green here. Yeah, we had some snow here earlier. I decided not to take my walk today because it's just, I've been taking one every day and it feels so good to take a walk, but I do have my limits. Okay, and now I've got the Wisteria Wonder. So for this, I'm also going to use the big end and just color in these hydrangeas a little bit. Okay, so there's that. We're almost done already, kids. Okay, so now let me cover up this Memento ink before I stick my elbow into it. Now all I'm going to do is just use my snail and attach it to this rich razzleberry. And then that is going to get attached to the Daffodil Delight. What do you think of that? I really like it. It's simple. You could still add a sentiment if you wanted to. A simple hello, but I think I'm just going to leave it blank because sometimes you need a blank card. So now I'm going to show you the other 2 cards that I made. I'm going to flip you back around so I feel like you're looking like I'm having a conversation with you. Tanya, you don't have to be a paint in the line kind of person. It just looks like I painted in the lines, but I really didn't. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It's just a little bit of dabbing because you do have a little bit of a wide tip on there. So this is the card we just made, right? Earlier, I made 2 other cards. This was a similar one. So the same background, I used my Stamparatus and stamped the same stamps, colored them in. But then I used a piece of this gingham paper, also in Daffodil Delight, and I cut this out with the petals die. And it just kind of gives it a little bit of a different look. But this is where I got the idea of just keeping it simple, because before I put the gingham gala or the gingham paper on, I thought, wow, that looks pretty by itself even. So that's the one card I made. And then the other one, I did use the dies and I cut out this middle hollyhock. And then basically did the same thing, but then I used the stitched label dies, cut a die out and just put it up on top. And for this middle one, I used a couple dimensionals, so it raises it up a little more than the others, but I did cut all 3 out. I don't know if you can see that. So they are just, the 2 on the end are stuck on with the Stampin' Adhesive, and then the middle one I used dimensionals. So there again you have the Daffodil Delight layer, and then you have Whisper White is next, and then the gingham, and then these label dies. So I just picked one that was going to sort of fit, and I kind of like the way the middle one has dimension because of the dimensionals, but it kind of is stuck up over the edge of the others. So what do y'all think? Which one is your favorite? Let me know down below in the comments. If you don't comment now, you can comment later. But so that was my job this morning. And so you see that the one we just did together didn't take long at all. Didn't involve any sort of extra stuff. You didn't even really need to use the Stamparatus for that because you could have done it without it. But I thought, oh, I don't use it often enough. I'm going to give it a try today. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks, Anna. I love them. I love that stamp set. And we've made a bunch of other cards with it already. I wonder if I have some in here from before. Yep, I see one already. So this is another one that I made before with that same Grace's Garden stamp set. And this one I think is so cute too. Simple as well. I used markers for that too. You could probably even use the sponge daubers because, you know, it doesn't have to be that exact. It can be kind of abstract, and then it looks a little more watercolory. Oh, here's another one. That's another one with that same Grace's Garden stamp set. And here are a couple that we made. This one was more using the dies, and then a couple of the flowers here on the inside. So that, I think, is all I've got made of those. I need to start writing some cards because I've got quite the collection in here. I have been sending cards out to people. Yep, I think that's all I've got with that card set, our stamp set. So again, in case you're wondering, it is the Grace's Garden. It's in the mini catalog. It's only going to be good till June 2nd. So about another month, and that's going to be it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I can help you place an order. And if you want to do a Facebook party, let me know and we can make that work as well. So that's going to be it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoy your afternoon and evening. Let's hope that upstate New York finally gets some real spring weather. My poor daffodils have gotten snowed on so often in the last few days. So anyway, enjoy your day. Stay healthy. Oh, do you see that? Jessie says the dies are on low inventory, so do it quick. I love them. I think that even when the mini catalog is over, I will be using that stamp set often. I just really messed my hair up. I need a haircut. I wish somebody would just come here and say, I'm cutting your hair. Bring your mask. All right, guys. That's it for today, and I look forward to talking to you next Tuesday for Tuesdays at 2 at Artistically Yours. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.